Welcome back, friends. Zach here, reseller, and it's a beautiful bluebird morning here in northern New Mexico. I got a busy day lined up as I'm going to be traveling south as my daughter has a competitive gymnastics event in Santa Fe. But beforehand, I'm going to try to squeeze in several hours of thrifting in the Albuquerque area. So follow along and I'll show you what I come up with. I'm setting my intentions it's going to be good in here because this store's hit and miss for me. All right, so been through about 3 racks. Haven't found much yet, but you gotta stay optimistic. This store is smaller, but it does have nice inventory. And as I've said in the past, I always try to look for golf shirts when I'm in the Albuquerque, Rio Rancho area. There's lots of golf courses down here. So I'm gonna keep turning and burning, and I am trying to keep to a time limit in each store I'm at because I wanna go for numbers and I wanna cover as much ground as I can in the short time I'm here. So if you sometimes get lost in the sauce, one little suggestion I might give you is to just set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes, especially if you're trying to hit a number of stores, and that helps me from getting lost in some of these clothing racks. So I hope that helps you. That's just a time management thing, and I know from my past job that helped me a ton to always be on track at the time. And maybe that's just me being a little bit of a perfectionist, I'm not sure, but here we go again. All right, got a no-brainer, and oddly I just sold a Peter Millar quarter zip this morning that was a gray colorway, and this is a black one. It's in very clean condition, and these prices down this way are a lot better than when I thrift back up in northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. This shirt here would run you about $7.99 back up that way, so I like the lower prices, and it's kind of nice to thrift in bigger cities for that. Doing a little bit of a hard goods run through, but just not seeing much here today, so I'm gonna cut out pretty quick. All right, so just went with the Peter Millar. This store has been very hit or miss. It is a smaller Goodwill, but it is nice and clean, and it's very new, but that doesn't always mean you're gonna find something there. So I'm gonna go ahead and gas up, get down the road, try to probably hit a few stores in the Northeast Heights, and then we'll go from there. I'm coming into the Goodwill off of Alameda as I have just teleported to the Northeast Heights. See what we can find. All right, I'm gonna start with dress shirts and hope that I find a bunch of Robert Graham flip cuffs or maybe some Wrangler Pearl Snap vintage shirts, maybe. All right, so this is how small the world is. I'm down here on Alameda at the Goodwill, and this beautiful young lady just walked up and asked if I made YouTube videos. That is pretty cool. I just wanted to say thanks to her for watching and her viewership. And so why don't you tell me a little bit about what you look to find in thrift stores when you're doing a little bit of picking?
I usually just come in to get some clothes.
Yeah, buy for yourself mainly then?
Yeah, for the gym or whatever.
Nice. Well, I'm so glad that you said something.
Yeah, I just happened to see. I thought, I know that. So I like to watch reselling.
Sure.
I saw your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm kind of building my following. So.
Yeah, I like to go in and see who's from Albuquerque. So far, you're the only one.
Well, and I'm actually from the Farmington area, but I come down here a lot, and both my parents are actually born and raised Boteños, but so my family are
From here.
plentiful down around here. But I come down here when my daughter has like sports events and stuff like that. So it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm
Same
grateful
here.
for you to say you recognize me. That makes me feel really good and actually like I'm making a difference.
Well,
So
yeah, you are. Thank you.
thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good day too. Right, I always do this when I see any type of Marine Corps garb. Semper Fi, do or die, gung ho. My son is in the United States Marine Corps. Love him. Miss ya. Hope you're doing well, bud. Looking for a vintage Ninja Turtle, good video game, something like that. So my apologies, I forgot to shoot some content and get the purchase inside of the store on this Travis Matthews quarter zip with pocket. I did pay up on this. It was $7.99. I can usually sell these for mid-20s though, and I just haven't been finding much. That store didn't have a whole lot, but I wanted to share it with you and just realized I forgot to get the clip. Truly humbled to have somebody just walk up to me and ask me if I'm the guy that's the reseller online. So Barb, thank you for just being that person that just brought my spirits up tenfold, and it's made all the hard work that I put into creating this type of content to give back to people worth it. So thanks, lady. I appreciate that. After I filmed the little clip with her, she was willing enough to talk a little bit more to me. I asked her about some stores and what her favorite thrift stores in Albuquerque were. She shared with me, and then she just basically said that she had caught my video one day because she was house sitting and looked up thrift store resellers in Albuquerque, and really I'm the only one that popped up, which is crazy because I don't even live here in Albuquerque. I'm from northern New Mexico, but it was just a pleasure, and I'm super grateful that she wasn't really shy about letting me film a little clip with her. So Barb, I appreciate it. I love the community of resellers, and I love when people do that, but I'm just shocked because Albuquerque is a very large city and I'm a small fish in a big pond. But today I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back and relish that victory, but I better get down the road because that victory's over now. I'm gonna head up to my favorite Goodwill off of Tramway at Montgomery, and then after that I might hit 1 or 2 more stores and probably start to head north towards Santa Fe. If you have made it this far, please reach out there and hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. As per usual, I want to go ahead and give you a little frittered piece of information or advice as you're getting your reselling game going, especially if you're new. Really be thinking about the items you're sourcing, but especially, do I have the space? Do I have the real estate? Do I have the storage to keep these items? And it's easy to get buck wild when you first start out and you buy a bunch of stuff and maybe you're not checking the resale rates and you're not checking to see if they're really quality items, and then before you know it, you got a spare bedroom you were using for storage and it's completely packed with junk and none of it's selling. And I can tell you that I didn't necessarily do that tremendously when I started out, but there were items that just didn't sell, and I'm still trying to get rid of some of those things. And you can basically hyper clearance or delist them. That's always a possibility, but at the end of the day, why waste all that time and money when you could just buy good stuff? The point I'm trying to make though is if you're limited on space, try to stick to smalls, things that don't take up a lot of room. Because I run my business out of my home, clothing is very ideal for me because I can compress clothing into very small compartmental areas, and I use several large walk-in closets in my home to store jackets, and then I have one room that's dedicated solely to storing a lot of folded up jeans and then garments that are of nicer condition that I try to keep on hangers. At some point I would like to start processing a lot of my clothing on the front end and just have it packaged up so that when it sells, it's ready to just be put in a poly mailer and ship off. That is down the road. But again, the point I'm trying to make is just be thinking about what you're buying. Big items take a lot of storage, and if it's big and it's not going to make you a bunch of money and it's going to cost a lot in shipping, really try to think about those type of metrics with your business. Those were things the first 6 months I was a reseller I did not do, but now I've kind of got a lot of that down and I sell less and less bigs, and there's other items I don't sell just because of different reasons. But thinking about the size and think about your real estate. I hope that helps you. Side of the Goodwill off Montgomery and Tramway. This is my favorite store. This is the one that has all the good stuff inside of it. And just last week I was down here and created a short after finding 3 really good items after just like 15 minutes. That short went viral and did really good, so I'm hoping for the best and gonna set my intentions high that I'm gonna find some really good stuff. Keeping that positive mental mindset is imperative when you resell because it is such a roller coaster way of making money. So here we go again. All right, I'm in the good threads section, and a lot of the garments in this section of the store are priced up, but they're of better quality. So I'm gonna be selective. Hopefully I'll find something really choice. All right, this is an example of definitely paying up, but these are Burton snowboard pants. I think they're women's. I need to confirm that. I think they're, yeah, dry ride. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop them. Won't have as much profit on this purchase, but great brand to flip quick. Got a pretty nice Burton jacket. It is women's, and I don't do as good on Burton women's line, but it's only $6, so that's a no-brainer. So I ain't doing too good in this store today, but it is 11 o'clock. It's Saturday. This is probably the nicest Goodwill in all of Albuquerque, and this store is packed with resellers. So I'm probably lucky to have found the few things I did, and that's all right. Gonna look over these shoes and gonna cut out of here. Well, a little bit disappointed. I was hoping to get into a little bit more, as this is my favorite store, but even the best store in the world can just be limited on what the availability of good inventory is. It is Saturday. It's also almost lunchtime. I almost started my day up here at this Goodwill. I kind of wish I would have. This store is the nicest, and it was just packed with resellers. When you see a bunch of people looking around at their phones, looking at inventory, especially clothing, and pushing around shopping carts full of clothing, you know that those are resellers generally. Not always, but
There was a lot of those out today. It's just Saturday, and that's what happens. A lot of the hobby enthusiasts come out on those days. Plus, you got extra people out shopping. But for right now, I think what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a lunch break. I am starting to get a little bit of fatigue, and I hadn't been feeling real well the last few days. So I think I'm going to slow my pace down and get some food in me, and we'll go from there.
All right, so I'm in Corrales, New Mexico. I drove down the road, and I'm going to be eating at the Range Cafe today. I only got several hours before I got to be to my daughter's gymnastics event, but the Range Cafe is solid. It's a very popular place to eat down here, and it has been some years. And so one thing I'm always passionate about is travel, but I also love food. And someday down the road, I would love to create a YouTube channel where I just share my travels and all the exquisite, delicious culinary things there are to offer people out there, whether it be regionally or internationally. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you what I get today, and that'll probably wind down this film. I went with the Monte Cristo French toast and a side of fruit, like I said. All right, as you can see, that place was crazy busy. Food was delicious. Took a little while to get it. I got to boogie up north to Santa Fe, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and stop my shooting content. Not the best day reselling out there, but it was Saturday, like I said earlier, and that's just how it goes. Appreciate everybody that watched. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or subscribe.